Hi, Nina.
Oh, hi everyone.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Pearl, Agnes, Lillian, Q.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. If you can, it would be great if we can see your beautiful faces. Thanks,
Hi,
Agnes.
Natalie.
Nina and I are now living close by, and we still have to set the date for our coffee.
You're also in Belgrade.
Sorry?
Do you live in Belgrade?
No, I thought you moved to Zagreb.
Oh, no, I didn't. That would be wonderful, but I'm still in Belgrade.
Well, next time I'm in Belgrade. Definitely. Belgrade is
Okay.
one of my favorite cities.
It's chaotic. You have to have energy to handle Belgrade's energy, but it is it is a great city, yes.
I've been several times and I always had such great time. Yeah.
It-
God, so many note takers. Okay, so we're at time. While we wait for others to join, can you share with all of us in the chat how is your day going? Scale 1 to 10. How is today shaping up to be? Also, where you all coming from? What's the time of the day in your corner of the world? Over here for Nina and I, it's early
Yeah.
evening. Nina 10. Oh, lovely.
Well, my executive is has an event, so she's traveling the whole day. So there's not much to do today. So not
These are the
complaining.
best days for EAs when your exec
Yes.
is traveling.
Yes.
Anna says hectic first day. Congratulations on the first day, Anna. How are you feeling about it? Unmute yourself. Tell us how it's going.
Um, I'm very excited. It's been not stressful, but a little bit like overwhelming first day. A
Yes,
lot of fun stuff, but so far so good. Thank you.
I think we can all sympathize. We all remember our first days.
Oh, I remember mine. I was so stressed. I was stressing. I was because I'm a perfectionist, so I'm stressed. I was stressing so much, and then after the third day, I was just no fourth or fifth day. I was just, oh, this is so much fun. Why was I stressing? Like, and even now, it's funny when I think about how stressed I was. It's so funny. So it will be good. All it will be good. No worries.
Hello, Christian. Nice to see you. So it's pretty much evening for most of us, except for
Mm.
Christian, I think. For you, it's midday or something like that.
It's here in El Salvador. Yeah, it's 12 p.m.
Yes. So we most of us are at the end of our day. For you, you still have hours to go.
Yeah, this is starting.
Okay, so while we wait for others to join, I just want to give a little intro. I don't think that most of you were here when we had regular coaching calls as Q&As with Regina. We made a pause in between, but we believe that, this is a really good activity, a really good way for us to get to know each other. And so we're bringing it back. Starting from next year, we will have each month one Q&A call and one masterclass call. So each month you will have the chance to, share your experiences with your fellow EAs, and share your problems or issues or whatever. That said, I want you to be assured that this is a safe space. It's a confidential call. Whatever we share here doesn't go anywhere else, anywhere further. So you can feel free to express your problems or your issues or your wins. And to make this sharing of problems easier, our practice is to have an agenda document, a live document in which we, at the start of the call, we give you 10 minutes and you can fill in your questions anonymously. We don't know who asks which question. And then we will here try to answer your problem or give you some sort of assistance or support, coaching, so that we help you deal with whatever is troubling you. Now, I shared the document in the invite, but here it is again. You can feel free to ask your questions. You will not be judged. Please rest assured that whatever your problem might be, there are other EAs struggling with the same problem or had the same problem and resolved it. So asking a question is a kindness to your colleagues, because there might be others who are shy and don't feel ready to ask this question. But if you ask it on their behalf, because you're having the same question, we will actually be solving both of your problems. Okay, so with that said, I have shared the link to the agenda document. So let's put a 10 minutes timer. And please, the way it goes is you open the document and you just write your question under the bullet. And after 10 minutes, we start responding to your questions. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay, let me start the timer. Hi, Anne. Hi, Samantha. You joined us now. Let me share with you the document. What we are doing right now is each of us is writing down a problem or an issue we have in this document. And then once we're done, we're gonna start with answering the questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let me stop the timer. We have some fantastic questions here. Okay, so if any of you feels that any of the questions that have been asked thus far are particularly interesting for you, or something that you think you would like to hear what others feel about it, please mark the question that you like and put a plus next to it or a thumbs up, so that we know that this is something that you would really love to explore. Also, while we speak, you may others can also add more questions if you didn't have time to ask the question right now. Now, I really like I like all of them. Gosh. Let's start with I think the simplest one. What's the best way to implement Asana? My exec is used to working alone and keeping everything on her paper. We have now begun using Asana, but I have troubles with receiving updates on her tasks. Does anybody in the group here knows Asana? Because I don't. Would
I think
anybody?
that's my question, and I can just to further elaborate on that. So what I mean by that is that so my executive, she's very self-sufficient. She's used to doing everything alone. So she's a doer, and she's let's say in a boomer generation, and she's used to writing everything down for herself on with pen and paper. So what we're doing now is I'm tracking her tasks. So basically, you don't have to know much about Asana. It's just basically a task tracking system. So what we would do is she would brain dump on me and she would tell me, okay, I have this and this and this task. I need to work on this and this and that. And then like a couple of times she would tell me, well, I'm still doing my tasks from my inbox, but I don't have any updates from the inbox only on her tasks, because the tasks are something that she's doing on her own. For example, working on some documentation and anything. So I cannot update these tasks because I don't know where to pull this information besides out of her. So that is something that I'm going to work on this week, and I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. On top of that, she is a operations CEO, whatever. So she is overseeing all the departments. So she's involved and everyone in everything. So I first need to build a picture of all the departments, who are all these people, whatever. I'm only 2 months in. For me, in order to be able to track the tasks based on her emails, because she gets tons of information through her email, and I don't know what is connected to each task. So that's something that I have to work on like now.
What it sounds to me, and I may be wrong, but it sounds to me that your exec has a little bit of difficulty delegating and letting go,
Yes. Mm.
you know. So I think that the first thing I would advise is, I don't know whether you have your one-on-ones regularly,
Yes.
but that would be the first instance where I would bring this issue up. Which means that if she likes to, for example, if she likes to put down her tasks on paper, I would ask her to just scan the list with her phone and send it to you on WhatsApp, on email, wherever, so that you get her list. And then if she's used to marking, which she probably is, marking on that list what's done and what's not done, just to send you, photograph this list to you at the end of the day and ship it to you. You will be able to immediately, mark tasks as done or work in progress or whatever. And it will not require a lot of effort from her. I think that you would need to be very creative in finding ways to um, not request her too much change, because obviously she's set in her ways.
Mm-hmm.
But but you also need this information in order to be able to do the tracking, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think? Would that work? Would anybody here have a better idea, or any other
I will
idea that can be
try.
used? Lamia.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I don't really have a better idea, but this is something that I struggled with when I first started working with Colin. And the thing is that he completes his tasks or he completes like a little bit of them, and I'm not aware, like we're not working together in an office. So what I did is this. Let me share my screen, just show you quickly. So our EUD report will have the section for Colin's action items. So before, I just write down the tasks that he was meant to be doing. But now I started adding this check box next to them. So tick the completed task, and anything left will be treated as a check, an action item. So when he's reviewing his report, he will just check that, okay, I'm done with second brain playbook. I will see, okay, it's complete. It's an update. He didn't talk. He didn't tell me. He didn't write anything. It saved him time. If he left finish SP, smart prompt, oh, okay, so he needs time for this. Tomorrow I bring it up. I block it on the calendar again. So there's no extra communication. He already prepared the list for him. He would tick it and everything is fine. So I think this worked really well. It kept me updated without extra work. So yeah, you could try it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
this looks really good. Is any of these of this useful to you, Nina? Do you think you can?
Yes. Thank you for the ideas, and I'm going to implement it and yeah, work on it. Thanks,
And
guys.
then I guess you will just have to manage up,
Yeah.
because you know.
I will just start. I mean, I am already proactive. I think she's used to having control in her hands. So I think just needs time to, to
Release.
delegate. So yes, release. And I mean, she's amazing. So yeah, I think it will work. But Lamia, thank you for your idea. It's amazing. So I'm going to implement that.
Thank you. Thanks, Lamia. So let's go to the next one. This one we've done. Okay, another one. I've organized my system to be as proactive as possible, reminding my executive about upcoming calls, following up on emails, and handling routine tasks. However, I sometimes feel stuck, especially during quieter periods when the executive schedule isn't as demanding. While I value reliability and support, I'd love to take on more meaningful, impactful work that allows me to contribute at a deeper level. Yes, definitely. I think that we can all resonate with that. Whereas there is some sort of, let's say, satisfaction when you see that, you have everything nicely organized and all the repetitive tasks are under control. If you don't have some creative outlet, some piece of your work that is in your zone of genius, that can be very detrimental to your enthusiasm, to the quality of your work, to the quality of your life. So it is definitely very important to find ways to make your work meaningful. My advice would be first, be very clear, or think about what is your zone of genius. What are the areas that you would like to contribute? Especially when you look at your executive's calendar or their schedule or their activities, what it is that they do that you believe you could take over. I would not wait for the executive to ask you. I would rather be proactive about it. So when you check what are the tasks that your executive is doing and that you believe you could meaningfully contribute or take that off of their list, make a list, prep for this conversation. Don't go into it, without really thinking it through and being sure of what you're going to say. And then ask your executive either during your one-on-one or ask if you can have like 20 minutes of their time to talk to them and then explain to them how you feel. Be ready with your proposal. Say, I see that you have a board meeting in 2 months. I believe I could be really helpful by preparing you for the board meeting. I could prepare the deck. I could prepare the documentation for it. I could prepare talking points. Whatever it is that you believe you can contribute, be ready with your proposal. And then ask them if they would let you do it. I trust that in more cases than not, they will be very happy that you mentioned it and that you brought it up. But you need to manage up in this case because I don't think that, especially if you're with an exec who has difficulties delegating or letting go, um, I think that open conversation is the best way to go. Would anybody like to contribute? Did any of you had similar situation that you resolved during
I
your
can
work?
say what I did is I was really proactive. So what I started doing is I asked her, "Oh, I see there is a group call. Can I join in? Can I join? Can I join? Can I join?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then um, last week, yeah, she was like, she didn't attend the meeting, so she was like, "You can go and just take notes." And I was even speaking like for her. So you just need to be proactive. So, and it takes time. So they, especially if you're new. So of course, she or he first needs to see if they can rely on you, if they can trust you. Once this trust is built, more and more they're going to delegate, and you're going to be more and more involved. So that's what I did, and it worked. So
That's fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah, that's lovely. Anybody else? Christian, you are one of our more experienced EAs. What is your experience with delegation and taking over some tasks?
Yeah, yeah, I wanted to say something about it. Sometimes executive really they have a really hard time delegating. At the beginning, it's kind of normal, so they just have to get to know you, see what you're capable of, showing them what you can do as well. And it was actually a couple of weeks ago that my executive and we were just talking about the progress that we have made, in this year. And so I added like, I got to know the people you are more I would say like you're constantly talking to, and I listed different things that I got as wins, and so he added another one. He said, I trust you more now. And I was like, I didn't think about that, But I mean, it was nice that he was the one who wrote it. So it was like, I wasn't expecting that. But he trusts me now up to the level that he can delegate some, I would say, like personal stuff, family things, and I guess that's one of the most I would say that's one of the areas where he had trouble with, like delegating, personal or family stuff. But that was good. And so all I can say is it takes time. It takes a little time, but just don't give up. I mean, just keep working, and just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, if you sometimes instead of I was like learning new skills, sometimes it's also better, to master the skills that you have because that will make you a genius, right? It's not just being average in everything, but it's better sometimes to be a genius in something, right? So that's what I can say.
Yeah, thanks, Christian. It's true, it's true. And Lamia said, building trust takes time, and it comes from consistently following through with great results until they can see it and feel it. Yes, absolutely. Building trust is something that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And with a lot of execs, what I noticed is that they have trouble, letting go. And it's best to manage up in these cases and like Nina did, like Christian did, um, just market yourself a little bit. No shame in that. In sharing in your one-on-ones, oh, this week this is what I did, this is what we won, um, kind of make your work visible. More often than not, execs do not see all the things that you do. And for some reason or other, most of us are reluctant to sing our own praises, but sometimes it's really required to just be proud of ourselves and say, you know, I did this for you this week. How did you like it? And here comes the famous question. If If you were to say to your exec tomorrow, you know what, I'm leaving, I got a better job offer, what would they do? It's a very tricky question, but sometimes it's also good to ask them. And it doesn't matter whether they say, "Oh, I would die. I would get on a plane, get to your house, and beg on my hands and knees, please stay." Or if they say, "Well, I don't know, it's your life," or something like that, which might be something of a cold shower. Um, but then it's an opportunity for you to ask, "Okay, so what would it take? What would you what would I have to be or do for you to actually not want to lose me?" Because it's important to be brave with your questions. Don't shy away. If they say, for example, you did some task and they say, "Oh, you did good work." Uh, Probe further. Ask, "Okay, this was good work. What would make it excellent?" You want to know where you stand. You want to know what would make it something that they cannot resist, that they can feel that they simply cannot function without you. That's the goal. Okay, let's see what we have. Yes, Lamia.
Yeah, well, I just want to drop this, but Atlas does have two playbooks coming up soon. One is the EA Performance Playbook, which will help you just literally document everything that you do as an EA with templates, with steps, when to show it, what to say, all the scripts. And it's going to be transformational for everyone. And along with the feedback playbook, like how could you ask for more feedback? There are cheat sheets and checklists that could help you just manage how to receive feedback, how to process feedback. So these two playbooks were insane and I loved them a lot. So I believe everyone would really benefit from them. So just look forward to 2026. Can't wait. So just wanted to tease you guys about this.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you, Lamia. Okay, and in the document, Jenny also, thank you, Jenny, so much. Um, Provided some insights and some inputs. So she says, one, initiate strategic conversations. This is where you unlock deeper work. Once a week or every other week, ask thoughtful questions such as, what a project you've been wanting to do but haven't had time for? Where are we losing time or efficiency? Excellent, yeah. Is there anything you wish you could hand off but haven't yet? What's something that would make your life easier if I built it out for you? What would you focus on more if I took everyday admin off your plate fully? And then step two, use downtime to expand your skills and role. Quiet weeks aren't a sign of low value. They are the breathing room that allows you to upgrade the machine your exec runs. Your exec should eventually be thinking, even when I think there's nothing to do, she moves the business forward. That's the hallmark of an elite EA. Jenny, this is really insightful. Thank you so much. Um, so let's go. This question. My exec had never had an EA before. What would be the best way to build trust with them while still getting things done efficiently? Yeah, that's a pickle. I think with founders, you will often see this situation where they started the business, developed it on their own without any assistance. Then they feel that they need someone to help them out. And when they get an EA, they don't know what to do with it because, you know, they're used to doing everything on their own, and they have this fear that if they let go, things will not move forward um, the way they want. Um, it is a tricky situation, especially if they hog like basic elements of your work, such as inbox or calendar, or task management. And then you're basically stuck because you cannot move forward and they don't let go. I would say, again, manage up. This requires a direct conversation, a one-on-one, where you bring this up. And the the comments that Jenny put in the document are an excellent insight into how to have these strategic conversations. I would actually take the questions that Jenny listed verbatim, like when you decide to have a conversation with your exec, just copy paste these questions, and use them in your conversation. That said, I would also strongly advocate that when you have this strategic conversation, you prepare beforehand. You can expect pushback or responses like, no, 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 I've got it, it's okay, something like that. So I think what is important is to plan and maybe even practice your conversation with someone to be your soundboard. And by plan, I mean the acronym. Let me just show you what I mean. Okay, so P stands for purpose. When you go into a strategic conversation, keep your purpose as your North Star. It means that don't let your ego or your triggers derail you from what you actually want to achieve with this conversation. Be very clear with yourself what is your goal and what you want to have as the outcome of this conversation. Very specific. Like, my goal is to have one task delegated to me that hasn't been mine so far. So when you feel triggered or disappointed or discouraged by your executives, maybe lukewarm responses, just keep that in your mind. This is what I want. Second L, it means listen. Most often, we don't listen in a conversation, even though we think we do. What we are doing secretly is thinking of a repartee. Your counterpart is speaking, and as they're speaking, your mind whirs with what you're going to say next. But actually try to withdraw from that and actually listen, because in what they are saying lie your questions, your follow-up questions. And that's the A. Ask questions, ask probing questions. Don't be afraid to go where it hurts. Like we said with the keeper test, it may be very wounding to your ego to get a lukewarm response on how your exec would handle your leaving, but therein lies your gold. And N is next steps. Be very clear what you want as next steps after the conversation. So let's say that your exec agrees for you to take over certain task that you haven't handled before. Then make sure that you follow up this conversation with an async message saying, we agree that I will take this from your hands. This is my plan. So outline what you're going to do each step and give them the deadlines. So that makes it a promise and a contract between you. You have now taken over this task and you want to show them that they were right in delegating it. So over communicate if necessary to make sure that they are always up to speed where you are. If for whatever reason you cannot meet the deadlines, make sure you proactively communicate ahead of time. So to to summarize, your question, my exec had never had an EA before. What would be the best way to build trust? Communication, make sure that you have your one-on-ones regularly. That cannot be overstated. And then go into strategic conversations with them. Proactively find what it is that you can take off their hands, like Nina did, like Christian did, like Lamia did, and try to slowly build trust by showing them that when they delegate something to you, it's not hidden from them. They are aware where you are at with your task, and you proactively communicate how the things are progressing. And give yourself grace. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Just remember that you are a counterpart for someone who for years had never had anybody assist them or support them. Also, they are sharing with you crucial elements, personal stuff, things that they never shared with anybody before in their work. Put yourself in their shoes. It's very scary to all of a sudden have this person and then share details of your professional and personal life with them. You know, it's not easy for them either. So give them grace too. And just be patient, keep up the good work, and keep showing up. And things will slowly progress. So, and Jenny comes to the rescue again. Oh my God, Jenny, you're the best. You are the best. So, Jenny wrote, first-time EA users don't know what to delegate, how to communicate, or what good looks like. Your job is to remove ambiguity from day one. Begin with a simple routine daily. Here's what I'm doing today. Here's what I need from you. Here's what's blocked. Weekly, review priorities plus what's coming up next week. This structure makes you predictable, and predictability builds trust. Yes, 100%. 2, make them feel in the loop, never in the dark. Most first-time EA execs fear losing visibility, so early on you got to over-communicate. Mirror back instructions, confirm decisions, send progress updates, close loops aggressively, ask for clarification instead of assuming. Once they trust your judgment, you can dial communication back. Early over-communication prevents micromanagement later. Third step, borrow their brain first, then scale it. You don't build trust by being fast. You build trust by being aligned with how they think. Ask questions like, what does a good outcome look like for you? What decisions do you want to stay involved in? Is speed or accuracy more important here? If you were doing this, what steps would you take? This shows them that you care about their way of working, not just task completion. Jenny, you are a gem. And she's hidden. I think that her internet might be wobbly. But Jenny, you are one of a kind. So, yes, Jenny is amazing. Absolutely. Since I don't know who of you asked which question except the first one, I'm hoping that we're covering your bases. But let us know in the document or in the chat if there are some things that we haven't responded. And then we have, my exec was so busy doing some marketing coordination tasks. How can I help? Well, I think that a lot of today's talk has been about how to manage up and how to actually take things off executives' plates. Um, I think that the best way you can help is first being very aware of what it is that your exec is doing. So this you can learn from calendar, from inbox, and most importantly from their brain dump. I think that brain dump practice is one of the best ways to learn what it is that's tangling in your exec's brain. And is there any way, like for example, Nina asked to be part of her exec's meetings. Is there a way that you can ask your exec to be part of these activities, maybe just shadowing at first, or somehow getting more information from them about what it is exactly that they do and how you can help. If you can find out what these tasks actually are, and then try to see which of them you could take over, then you could ask your exec for the next round of these marketing activities, can I do this for you? Help them by managing up and offering your assistance rather than expecting them to ask you to do it, especially if they very much in the founder energy rather than leadership energy. They will be inclined to take and hog all the tasks onto themselves. Jenny, our wise woman, what would be your advice?
Hey
Jenny is
Nat,
writing. Hey, Jenny.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, my connection today doesn't want to
Yeah,
cooperate. But
yeah.
yeah, I think this is the golden opportunity for you to step in and create massive leverage, whoever wrote that down, because most executives they shouldn't be touching coordination at all. Because if they are, it usually means like you don't have a clear system, like you're not the project owner, or like you're not owning it, because you should not be saying I can help, because your job is to remove that load from them intelligently, instead of like you being proactive and saying I can help and then just waiting for them to instruct you on what to do. So you have to intelligently identify or intentionally identify what kind of marketing coordination they're doing, because you would know that based on the inbox, whatever context you can get. And if whatever marketing coordination that they're doing, as long as you get a lot of context, you don't need to know the strategy, because you can own the operations, and that's already part of stealing your executive's time. So what you can do is you can ask like the question, can you show me the part of this marketing work that drains you most or slows you down? And I can take that off first. Because sometimes executives find that it's unbelievably relieving, because they don't think they need like they because they don't need to think of tasks that to delegate to EAs, because you gotta identify them, right? That's part of being very proactive and showing up for them, thinking for them. So start with asking them like, how does a new marketing task or asset get into the system? You got to be curious about these things in order to know, find all the context that you can, what can you handle, what ownership can you get, and then timeline, communication, your asset management, everything. So and then once you do that, you would be able to maybe handle follow-ups, some of the communications that you can take over. And that's one of the biggest lifts that you can do in the marketing, like in the heavy roles that they're doing. Yeah.
Excellent. So I think that we covered all the questions. But what I want to tell you is that the reason why my forum is on is because after this call, we will make the list of questions with answers and share it with you and everybody else. So, of course, you will not be identified because your questions are anonymous, but we believe that these questions and answers might help others who are struggling with with the same issues, with the same questions. So yeah, uh, we'll share the Q&As with you and with other EAs. And Lamia will make sure that these Q&As are also recorded in the resource library so that in future, when you need to check something, you can go to resource library and find the response for something that you're not sure how to handle. So before we close, we have another 5 minutes. I just want to check how was this call for you? Do you feel that it is something that is beneficial, that is useful for you? Are there any proposals how we might make it even more useful for you? Just give us some feedback, and please do not hold on praises, because we really like to be praised. So but we also like the honest feedback. So also don't hold back on anything that you would like changed or made better and so on, right? So yeah, I'm so happy that we had this time together. I missed it so much, because for me these calls are such a wonderful opportunity to see you, to talk to you, and to hear, what your issues are, and see how we can help you. Please, please, everybody who's on screen, and everybody who's off screen, get on screen, and let's give a big round of applause to Jenny and Lamia. Thank you guys for giving us your experience and your advice, and yeah, it's irreplaceable. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm giving you 4 minutes back, and I'm so looking forward to meeting you again next year. And until then, have a wonderful holiday time, and I hope you will have some time off to recharge and recuperate. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See
Thank you,
everyone.
Nina. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, Nat.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.